Insects come in all shapes and sizes. In fact, there are over 900,000 different species of insects on the planet, representing an impressive 80% of all living species in the world. So it's no surprise that some of these insects are bigger than others. In fact, some are simply gigantic, from nightmare-inducing heavyweight beetles to wasps so large they love to feed on tarantulas. Here are 20 of the largest insects ever recorded in the world. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now let's begin. Number 1, the alligator bug. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary insect with wings, legs, and the typical features of a standard bug. But when you get to the creature's head, the story changes completely. The alligator bug, also known as the peanut bug, is apparently extremely tasty to other rainforest animals. So this little insect had to develop some unusual adaptations to survive. It has a series of different defense mechanisms built into its body. First, the alligator bug is particularly well camouflaged, with markings and colors that help it blend into its environment. But it must be really tasty because this insect also needs several other safety features to defend itself from predators. Its huge peanut-shaped head, resembling an alligator, is another one of these adaptations. It serves to make the small insect look like a large, scary snake rather than a delicious snack. If the predator isn't fooled by this, the alligator bug's head isn't actually where it keeps its brain, so to speak. It's hollow and detachable. The theory is that if a predator bites this false head, the insect can use this trick to escape. But if that doesn't work, these insects have large eye patterns on their wings that they can flash and flap at the attacker in hopes of scaring it. And if all else fails, the alligator bug has a secret stinky weapon. It can release a jet of liquid with a horrible smell as strong as rotting mold. At least that should curb the appetite of even the most persistent predator. Number 2, Wallace's giant bee. This is the largest bee species known to still exist on the planet. It is highly endangered and was actually thought to be extinct until it was rediscovered in 1981. Again, people believed it had disappeared when no specimens were found for many years, until suddenly a living female Wallace's giant bee was found and filmed in 2019. So there is still hope that this extremely rare insect is surviving, avoiding total extinction. Those that still exist are black resin bees with huge mandibles. Nothing particularly alarming, right? They can reach sizes between 2.3 cm and 3.8 cm in length, with a wingspan of up to 6.4 cm, which is quite considerable. And those large mandibles, they are unique to the females of the species and are precisely what makes this bee so distinct from other varieties. This adaptation allows the bee to collect resin, using its mandibles to carry large clumps of resin that they later use to build their nests inside termite nests. Strange, but nature is full of surprises, isn't it? Number 3, giant African stick mantis. These are the type of praying mantises that some people like to keep as pets. They really do seem to have strangely expressive faces, it's true, but what kind of pet interaction do you really have with a serious cannibal insect? If you know, please tell me all about it in the comments below. What's the appeal of these insects as domestic companions? Well, aside from being favorites among home insect breeders, mantises from the Mantidae family can regularly grow several centimeters in length or more, with the largest recorded specimen measuring just over half a meter. They generally live at least a year after reaching maturity, so it's not exactly the same as a pet dog, but maybe more like a carnival goldfish. These unusual insects have some distinct features. They are branch mimics, which means they are perfectly adapted to camouflage among tree branches. This is a useful trait to help the mantis hunt prey and avoid predators. These creepy insects look like they were designed for a sci-fi movie. Their alien-like eyes and intensely sinister bodies, along with all their terrifying gestures, make the mantis perfect nightmare inspiration. Moreover, the famous post-mating cannibalism of female mantises is notorious. It's no wonder these incredible insects have a bit of fame. In case you didn't know, the female mates with the male, and after the act is completed, she bites his head off and devours him. It turns out this seemingly psychotic behavior may actually make it more likely for the mantis to reproduce. Well, the female, of course, because the male is already dead. Number 4, Arthropleura. Arthropleura lived in North America and Great Britain during the Carboniferous period. Yes, this insect was a 6-meter-long millipede with a body made up of up to 30 armored plates, each with a pair of legs. What a nightmare. It fed on dead wood and leaves, thriving due to the high oxygen concentration in the Earth's atmosphere at the time. Scientists believe this allowed these creatures to grow to such remarkable sizes. With limited vision, these monsters probably had very sharp senses of smell and touch, all to find food food and detect other animals around them. Despite being the largest invertebrate to ever exist, it seems Arthropleura was herbivorous. The only thing to fear from this gigantic creature was it crawling across your face while you slept. Number 5. Scolopendra gigantea, the colossal tropical centipede. The Scolopendra gigantea, commonly known as the giant centipede, is one of the most impressive predators in the arthropod world. Native to the tropical and subtropical forests of northern South America, especially Venezuela, Colombia, Suriname, Trinidad, and the Caribbean islands, this creature stands out not only for its size, but also for the ferocity of its hunting and the complexity of its behavior, size, and appearance. The giant centipede is officially the largest on the planet, capable of exceeding 30 centimeters in length and more than 3 centimeters in width in adult specimens. Segmented body. Each segment has a pair of jointed legs, allowing fast and precise movements essential for hunting agile prey coloration. Varies from dark brown to bright red and orange, often with a shiny, menacing appearance. Head and antenna. Long, sensitive antennae help locate prey in dark, densely vegetated environments. Mandibles and venom. Equipped with forcipules, specialized structures that inject venom capable of quickly paralyzing prey. Diet and hunting techniques. Scolopendra gigantea is an opportunistic and voracious predator with a surprisingly broad diet. Insects and arthropods, spiders, scorpions, beetles, and millipedes are among its most common prey. Small vertebrates, rats, bats, small birds, and amphibians are also hunted, demonstrating the animal's strength and agility. Hunting technique. It uses its venomous forcipules to immobilize prey almost instantly, then begins chewing with its powerful mandibles, partially digesting before ingestion. This dietary diversity shows that the giant centipede is not just a giant insect, but a top predator in its micro-ecosystem, playing a crucial role in controlling populations of smaller animals, habitat, and behavior. The giant centipede prefers humid forests, where it can hide under fallen leaves, rotting logs, and stones. Nocturnal behavior, mainly active at night, searching for food while avoiding daytime predators. Climbing ability, can climb trees and cave walls, showing impressive agility for an arthropod. Territoriality, adults maintain individual territories, vigorously defending them against intruders, including other centipedes. Reproduction and life cycle. The reproduction of Scolopendra gigantea is as fascinating as its appearance. These arthropods follow a complex life cycle, marked by specific rituals and rare maternal care among centipedes. Mating. The male deposits a spermatophore, a capsule containing sperm, on the ground or a chosen surface. The female then collects the sperm to fertilize her eggs. Egg laying. The female may lay 20 to 30 eggs, depending on size and age. These eggs are carefully guarded, with the female coiling around them to protect against predators and fungi. Growth. After hatching, the young undergo multiple molts, gradually increasing the number of legs until reaching adulthood. Longevity. Lifespan ranges from 5 to 10 years, relatively long for arthropods, allowing the centipede to gain experience as a predator within its territory. Maternal care is remarkable, as many other centipede species abandon their eggs after laying, making Scolopendra gigantea a rare example of dedication in the arthropod kingdom. Social and territorial behavior. Despite being solitary predators, these centipedes exhibit limited social behaviors that reveal a surprising side. Territory. Adults fiercely defend their space, avoiding direct competition with other individuals of the species. Interaction. Contact usually results in combat or rapid escape. Juveniles may temporarily share hiding spots without conflict. Communication. Sensitive antennae detect vibrations and chemical signals, helping locate prey and avoid predators or rivals. This restricted social life highlights how Scolopendra gigantea is finely adapted to its environment, balancing hunting, protection, and reproduction with near-military precision. Ecological impact. The giant centipede is more than an impressive predator. It plays an essential role in the tropical forest ecosystem. Population control. By feeding on insects and small vertebrates, it helps regulate species that could become pests. Environmental indicator. Its presence indicates a healthy ecosystem, with moist soil, dense vegetation, and sufficient biodiversity to support top predators. food chain, serves as prey for nocturnal birds, small mammals, and some reptiles, completing a vital cycle of interdependence in the forest. Despite its intimidating size, Scolopendra gigantea is a key element for tropical ecosystem health, showing that even the fiercest predators have essential roles in nature. Scientific curiosities. The giant centipede attracts scientific interest for several reasons. Resilience and adaptability. Can survive in variable environments, from humid caves to fallen logs, thanks to its robust physiology. Bat predator. Some reports document centipedes attacking bats in caves, climbing walls, and using their mandibles to catch them mid-air. An extraordinary display of predatory skill. Complex venom. Studies reveal compounds that may have medical applications, including antibacterial and analgesic potential. Disproportionate strength. Considering its size, its ability to capture prey larger than its own body impresses biologists and entomologists. These factors make Scolopendra gigantea not just a bizarre curiosity, but a valuable subject for science, medicine, and ecology. Its natural habitat provides the moisture and shelter essential for survival, as dehydration can be fatal for large arthropods like this species. Venom and human danger. Although the giant centipede usually avoids human contact, it possesses a venomous bite that can cause intense pain, inflammation, and in rare cases, severe reactions. Venom composition contains toxins that affect the nervous and muscular systems of prey. Risk to humans. Bites can cause intense pain, swelling, fever, and malaise. Rare fatalities have been reported, especially in children or allergic individuals. Defense. Venom is used both for hunting and protection from predators, including birds and small mammals. Despite the danger, human encounters are extremely rare, as the centipede prefers hiding in dark places to avoid confrontations. Human interactions. Despite its fearsome reputation, Scolopendra gigantea maintains a complex relationship with humans. Cultural perception. In many regions of South America, where it is known as the giant centipede or royal millipede, it is viewed with fascination and fear. Some local cultures consider it a forest guardian, while others see it as an omen of danger. Accidental attacks. Human bites are rare, but cause severe pain, swelling, and occasionally systemic symptoms. Historically, isolated hospitalizations have occurred, especially among curious children handling the animal. Scientific research. Researchers handle centipedes with gloves and long forceps to study their mandibles and venom safely. Interestingly, the animal's resilience to human threats reinforces its role as a top predator in the tropical forest. Famous incidents. Some encounters between humans and the giant centipede have become notable. Suriname case, 2014. A 12-year-old boy was bitten on the hand while exploring the forest near Paramaribo. Medical treatment included strong analgesics, but the incident highlighted the need for environmental education. Captured specimens. In Puerto Rico, researchers captured individuals over 35 centimeters long to study their nocturnal behavior and hunting efficiency of bats in caves. Venom studies. Its venom has drawn international medical attention due to peptides that may aid in developing new analgesics and antibiotics, showing that even a fearsome predator can have medicinal value. Evolutionary adaptations. Scolopendra gigantea has developed unique traits that make it one of the most effective predators in tropical forests. Powerful mandibles, capable of piercing the skin of small mammals and rigid insect exoskeletons. Speed. Despite its long segmented body, it can move quickly to capture prey and evade larger predators. Sensitive antennae. Detect ground vibrations and chemical signals, enabling efficient nocturnal hunting. Climate resilience. Adapted to humid forests, tolerates high humidity, temperature variations, and short dry periods, showing great ecological flexibility. Detailed geographic distribution. Originally concentrated in northern South America, the giant centipede is distributed across Venezuela, dense tropical forests and humid caves. Colombia, jungles and mountainous areas. Suriname and Guyana, protected ecosystems supporting stable populations. Puerto Rico, introduced or naturally dispersed, living in caves and low vegetation. Ideal habitat includes soil rich in organic matter, leaf litter, decaying logs, and humid microclimates essential for survival. Historical curiosities. Over time, Scolopendra gigantea has fascinated and commanded respect. 19th century explorers reported encounters with enormous centipedes during Amazon expeditions, describing them as monstrous and fascinating creatures. Indigenous myths. Some tribes believed the giant centipede had healing or malevolent powers depending on the context of the encounter. Modern documentaries. Scientists continue documenting nocturnal activities, hunting strategies, prey interactions, and adaptation skills in complex habitats. Number 6. St. Helena earwig. Now, this is a bit disheartening. In 2014, the world's largest earwig was declared extinct. Sure, no one really loves an earwig, but the fact that an entire species disappeared is quite sad, isn't it? Before its total extinction, this scary insect was the largest earwig ever recorded, often measuring up to 3.1 inches. That's gigantic for this type of insect. The problem is, these insects were found only in one place on the planet, St. Helena Island in the remote South Atlantic. This means that when they vanished from there, they vanished everywhere. As always, humans contributed to the species' decline. Removal of stones from their habitat, the places where they sheltered, likely caused a significant population drop. When combined with the introduction of invasive species such as rats, mice, spiders, and others that hunted the giant earwig, the result was a colossal and irreversible impact on the delicate ecosystem. The first victims were the St. Helena earwigs, and many other species on the island are also unique. Let's hope the rest of them survive. Number 7. Giant darner dragonfly. This beautiful and enormous dragonfly is the largest in the United States. Its most striking feature is its bright blue and black coloration, which makes it easy to recognize. And they're huge. You won't lose sight of them easily. These large flying creatures usually inhabit southern states, primarily Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, and New Mexico, preferring small streams in dry climates. This environment protects their eggs and young from predators while providing the ideal temperature and humidity for their biology. Giant darner dragonflies feed mainly on smaller insects, particularly mosquitoes, which share their habitats, making perfect sense. They also eat ants and flies near ponds. The dragonfly's main predator is the hummingbird once it reaches adulthood. Larvae, however, are often devoured enthusiastically by any fish that can catch them, along with many aquatic insects. It's truly a miracle that any survive to adulthood. Number 8. Acorn beetle. Here we have another large beetle for your delight, the acorn beetle, a contender for the title of largest beetle. This insect measures about 12 centimeters in length and 7 centimeters in width, with the largest specimens reaching around 13.37 centimeters. While not the smallest insects, nor officially the largest we've seen, they are among the heaviest. Indeed, with a maximum recorded weight of 8.04 grams, these creatures are not only the heaviest beetles, but also the heaviest insects overall. Perhaps the most interesting aspect is their name. They are named after Acon from Greek mythology, a famous hero whose story is brutal. The hero transitions from hunter to being hunted and torn apart by his own dogs. How these beetles came to be named after that story remains a mystery. Number 9. Giant water beetles. Being called a water beetle, even a giant one, sounds harmless, but don't be fooled. These insects have some truly unpleasant, even deadly habits. They are cold-blooded killers with a disgusting feeding style. Giant water beetles live in freshwater swamps, ponds, and puddles worldwide, preferring to hide among vegetation just below the water's surface. Although insects, they are ambush predators, patiently waiting for something tasty to pass before striking. They grasp prey with pincer-like appendages and inject digestive venom. This unpleasant cocktail liquefies the prey's internal organs, allowing the beetle to suck up the meal without chewing. Often, prey is much larger than the beetle itself. While humans aren't typical prey, approaching too closely can result in a painful bite. It's not toxic, but it hurts, so watch where you step. Number 10. Hercules beetle. Although not officially the largest beetle, that title goes to the Goliath beetle. The Hercules beetle is no weakling. These massive crawling creatures can grow to the size of a man's hand, which is alarming enough. They have pairs of alien-like horns, which work together with a second pair to form a sort of claw. Females lack horns and tend to be slightly smaller. However, they emit a strong scent. If a male is nearby, he can detect her and immediately locate her direction. She exudes pheromones, making her irresistible. There's even a community of beetle enthusiasts who are so passionate about the magnificent Hercules beetle that some would pay up to $700 to add one to their collection. Number 11. Midas flies, giant flyers of North America. Midas flies already impress with size, color, and dense swarms, but when examining their full life cycle, social behavior, and environmental interactions, it's clear they are more than just big, annoying flies. They are living proof of the evolutionary complexity of insects. Life cycle and reproduction, egg stage. Females lay eggs in moist soil or decaying wood, carefully choosing locations to ensure larvae find enough food. Larvae, voracious predators of small insects, especially beetle larvae, helping control populations that could damage trees or crops. Pupa, larvae transform into pupae, remaining immobile and protected in a tough casing before emerging as adults. Adults are iconic for their size, striking colors, and efficient wings for fast, coordinated flight. Adult lifespan is usually a few weeks, during which they feed, reproduce, and contribute to habitat balance. Social structure and behavior. Swarms. Adults often gather in large groups in areas with abundant food, increasing foraging efficiency and confusing predators. Communication. Coordinated movement suggests visual or chemical communication, though poorly understood. Defense. Size and group presence deter many smaller predators. Vibrant colors can act as a warning. Feeding an ecological role. Midas flies play multiple ecological roles. Pollination, pest control. Larvae consume beetle larvae, and dietary versatility by consuming other small invertebrates. Predators and survival strategies. Birds, small mammals, camouflage, agile flight, and defensive swarming all increase survival. Scientific fascination. The name Midas references the mythological king who turned everything to gold, evoking the bright colors of some individuals. Studies reveal interactions between predators, pollinators, and decomposers, highlighting forest ecosystem complexity. Number 12. Giant burrowing cockroach, the world's heaviest cockroach. The giant burrowing cockroach has a broad, slow-moving body measuring about 7.5 centimeters and can live up to 10 years. Some people even keep them as pets. Native to Australia, it inhabits the open forests of northern Queensland, where it digs permanent burrows in the soil. These cockroaches manage everything from burying their young, sometimes up to 30 at a time, to raising them before repeating the cycle. Though slightly gross, these shiny brown insects are fascinating and vital members of the forest ecosystem. Their burrowing recycles organic matter, enriching the forest soil. At night, they return to the surface to forage for dry leaves. It's truly impressive to think that even the humblest creatures have an essential role on Earth. Nothing is without value. Number 13. Tarantula wasp. To give you an idea of scale, you don't need to look further than its name. The tarantula part simply hints at this wasp's favorite dinner. If it enjoys hunting tarantulas, it has to be huge, right? These terrifying insects can be found across Southeast Asia, India, the Americas, Africa, and Australia, basically everywhere except the coldest regions of the globe. This particular tarantula wasp is the official state insect of New Mexico, a charming symbol that undoubtedly attracts visitors eager to experience everything the state offers. Females are generally larger, around 7.5 centimeters in length with a wingspan of about 10 centimeters. That's more than enough to give you nightmares, and plenty of power to take on a tarantula, usually winning. Females hunt using their 6mm stinger to paralyze prey and drag it into an underground burrow for the slow, unpleasant process of dismemberment and consumption. While they may seem aggressive, tarantula wasps are primarily interested in spiders, so they don't pose much threat to humans. But don't provoke them, they will attack if threatened or even slightly irritated. Number 14. Atlas moth, with a wingspan larger than a human hand. It's no wonder the Atlas moth is considered one of the largest moths in the world. Despite its massive size and imposing appearance, Atlas moths have a critical design flaw. They cannot eat. Once they emerge from their cocoons, they cannot ingest food, so their lives are short. The caterpillar, like any hungry larva, eats voraciously before pupating. Adult Atlas moths live only a week or two, conserving energy to mate and lay eggs before the inevitable end. Their wingspan can reach an astonishing 30 centimeters with total body lengths up to 62 centimeters. Even the caterpillars are large, measuring over 11 centimeters while feeding before metamorphosis. These moths must consume a lot of food to last their short lives, during which they focus entirely on reproduction. Number 15. Giant weta, Weta punga. This enormous, flightless cricket survives only on Little Barrier Island off New Zealand's North Island. These incredibly rare insects suffered from an imbalanced food chain. In the early 20th century, many feral cats controlled rodent populations, particularly Polynesian rats. When cats were removed, rats devoured the wetas day and night. Over time, conservationists eradicated rats, slowly increasing wetas' numbers, reintroducing them into predator-free environments. However, such shifts in the food chain seem risky. What if giant insects someday overrun us? Number 16. Titan beetle. At about 16 centimeters in length, the Titan beetle is bigger than your average insect. Living in the humid tropical forests of South America, these massive beetles can fly but are too heavy to take off from the ground. They use powerful legs to climb trees before launching into flight. Titans are believed to fly when warm and humid, following pheromone scents to locate mates. Little is known about their larvae. No one has seen a Titan beetle larva. It's speculated that they hide inside decaying wood for years until maturing. If you encounter a Titan beetle in the rainforest, beware. Its extremely strong jaws can bite hard enough to snap a pencil in half. Number 17. Giant Australian locust. These enormous locusts are the largest of their kind, found in Australia, a country with unusually deadly wildlife. They can reach 38 centimeters in length, with females even larger. Some locusts measure up to 10 centimeters long, but are rarer, likely because they are a tasty meal for predators like mantises and lynx spiders. Giant locusts live mostly solitary lives in northern Australia, only forming groups to damage crops, similar to a gang of hooligans causing chaos. A small group can destroy crops rapidly, especially berries or coffee plants. Number 18. Queen Alexandra's birdwing butterfly. This extremely rare tropical butterfly is famous for its colossal size. Found in Papua New Guinea's rainforests, its habitat is limited to a tiny area, shrinking due to palm oil deforestation. Called birdwing because of wing shape and motion, these butterflies have wingspans up to 30 centimeters. 12 inches. Caterpillars eat voraciously, mainly a specific vine, growing large before metamorphosis. Adults feed delicately with a long tubular proboscis. Interestingly, they are mildly poisonous, acquiring toxins from their host plant. Any predator that bites one will regret it. Number 19. Goliath beetle. The titan of the insect world, the Goliath beetle, genus Goliathus, is rightly named a true colossus among insects. Native to Southeast Africa, these beetles are among the largest and heaviest insects on Earth, with some adults reaching over 11 centimeters in length and weighing up to 100 grams. A remarkable feat for a terrestrial arthropod. Their size alone is enough to inspire awe, but their behavior, life cycle, and survival strategies elevate them to legendary status in entomology, appearance, and anatomy. Goliath beetles are vividly colored with a variety of patterns that range from black and white to shades of brown and sometimes even reddish hues. These patterns are not only visually striking but also serve as camouflage in the dappled light of the tropical forests. Males are distinguished by a prominent horn on the head, used in combat with rival males over mating opportunities. Exoskeleton, extremely hard and durable, protecting them from predators such as birds and small mammals. Legs, equipped with strong claws for gripping tree bark and climbing. Wings, like many beetles, they possess elytra, the hardened forewings that protect the delicate hindwings used for flight. Despite their massive size, Goliath beetles can fly, though their flights are slow and deliberate. Life cycle and development. The Goliath beetle's life begins as a larva, which is arguably the most critical stage of its life. Larvae feed on decomposing wood and plant matter, accumulating massive reserves of fat and protein that sustain them through metamorphosis. The larval stage can last up to a year, during which the beetle grows immensely. Pupation occurs within a burrow or decaying log, where the larva transforms into its adult form. Adults emerge ready to face the challenges of reproduction and survival, with lifespans of a few months in the wild. Behavior and mating Goliath beetles exhibit fascinating behaviors, particularly during the mating season. Male combat. Rival males engage in fierce battles using their horns to flip or push opponents off branches. These contests determine who gains access to females and can sometimes result in fatal exhaustion for the male beetle. Female choice. Females select mates based on the outcome of these battles, indirectly choosing the strongest and most fit males. Nocturnal activity. Adults are primarily active at night, reducing predation risks while foraging for sap, fruits, and nectar. Diet and ecological role. Goliath beetles play an important ecological role. Larvae consume decomposing plant matter, aiding nutrient recycling and soil enrichment. Adults feed on tree sap, fruits, and occasionally nectar, contributing to plant pollination and seed dispersal. By consuming detritus, they help maintain the forest ecosystem, promoting a healthy cycle of decomposition and growth. Adaptations for survival. Their enormous size comes with both advantages and challenges. Pros: their size deters many predators, allows dominance in intraspecific combat, and enables efficient energy storage for reproduction. Cons: flight is energy intensive, and large beetles are more visible to predators. Their horned males expend enormous amounts of energy fighting, often resulting in early death. This balance between strength and vulnerability illustrates the delicate trade-offs in evolution. Interaction with humans have long been fascinated by Goliath beetles. Collectors and researchers prize them for their size and striking appearance. In some African cultures, beetles like Goliathus have symbolic significance, representing strength, resilience, or prosperity. Captive breeding programs exist primarily for educational purposes to study their life cycles and behaviors without impacting wild populations. However, overcollection and habitat loss pose threats to wild populations, emphasizing the need for conservation awareness. Conservation Goliath beetles rely on dense tropical forests, which are increasingly threatened by deforestation, agriculture, and urban expansion. Conservation strategies focus on preserving large tracts of rainforest habitat, educating local communities about sustainable interaction with wildlife, encouraging captive breeding programs to reduce pressure on wild populations. Number 20. Giant walking cricket, the master of disguise. The giant walking cricket is one of the most remarkable examples of evolutionary adaptation in North America. Measuring between 7.5 and 15 cm, these insects are deceptively large, yet blend seamlessly into their environment, relying on camouflage and behavioral finesse rather than speed or aggression to survive. Appearance and anatomy. Unlike common crickets, giant walking crickets have elongated twig-like bodies that mimic branches or dry grass. Their coloration ranges from earthy browns to muted greens, often speckled to replicate leaf textures or bark imperfections. Legs, long and jointed, adapted for slow, precise movements rather than quick escapes. Antennae, exceptionally sensitive, detecting vibrations, chemical cues, and subtle changes in the environment. Wings. Some species possess reduced wings, prioritizing stealth over flight, while others retain functional wings for short, deliberate flights. This combination of physical traits allows them to remain virtually invisible to birds, lizards, and other predators that rely on movement to detect prey. Behavioral adaptations. The slow, deliberate movement of the giant walking cricket is essential for its survival. Unlike typical crickets that leap or sprint, these insects mimic twigs. When threatened, they freeze, swaying gently if there is wind, creating the illusion of a moving branch. Nocturnal activity. Most feeding occurs at night, reducing encounters with visual predators. Dietary flexibility. They feed primarily on leaves, flowers, and occasionally smaller insects, allowing them to adapt to seasonal changes in foliage availability. This combination of mimicry, patience, and dietary versatility makes them exceptionally resilient in their habitats. Habitat and distribution. The giant walking cricket favors dense forests, wetlands, and meadows with plenty of cover. They are primarily found in eastern and central North America, woodland edges and shrublands, gardens and orchards where foliage provides shelter. They thrive in areas with high humidity and moderate temperatures, which prevent desiccation and support the growth of the plants they feed on. Reproduction and life cycle reproduction is another marvel of adaptation. Egg laying. Females deposit eggs in soil or leaf litter hidden from predators. Nymph stage. Newly hatched crickets resemble miniature adults, but are softer and more vulnerable. They molt several times before reaching full size. Lifespan. Depending on species and environmental conditions, they can live up to a year, surviving multiple seasons if conditions are favorable. Their reproductive strategy emphasizes protection and slow development, mirroring their cautious lifestyle as adults. Ecological role. Though often overlooked, giant walking crickets play a vital role in their ecosystems. Plant regulation. By feeding on leaves, they help control plant growth and promote biodiversity. Food source. Serve as prey for birds, small mammals, reptiles, and amphibians, forming a crucial link in the food web. Soil aeration. Their burrowing and movement through leaf litter help decompose organic matter and enrich the soil. These insects are a key component of forest and meadow ecosystems, even if they remain hidden most of the time. In notorious interaction with humans. Despite their size, giant walking crickets are harmless to humans. They rarely bite and avoid contact whenever possible. However, gardeners may notice minor leaf damage if populations are dense. Entomologists and nature enthusiasts are fascinated by their mimicry, slow-motion locomotion, and intricate survival strategies. Some cultures historically regarded large crickets as symbols of patience and stealth, associating their camouflage skills with wisdom and subtlety. Conservation and challenges. Giant walking crickets face challenges due to habitat loss and pesticide use. Forest clearing and urbanization reduce available cover, while chemicals can decimate populations. Conservation efforts focus on preserving woodland and meadow habitats, educating the public on the ecological importance of insects, reducing indiscriminate pesticide use in gardens and farms. By protecting their environment, humans ensure that these masterful mimics continue to thrive. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting videos appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one.